You already have the answer if only you will remember and trust within your own knowing. For you do not need me to guide or to tell you where to go, for I am simply here whispering into your ear. Sometimes I have to shake you a bit. Sometimes the planet has to shake you. Sometimes you have to have an experience to wake up a bit. But in the awakening, there is beauty, there is remembering, there is love, there is unity. And so you are coming back into union with yourself. You're marrying yourselves. You're unifying with your own self, which is everything. Everything in which you see and perceive is you. It has always been you. And in the remembering of that, you step into something extraordinary because you see the beauty in everything. And as you love, accept, and adore the presence of who you are now, it mirrors to you everything outside of you. And you see that it too is beautiful and magnificent and perfect and divine. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Kelly. People call me the Angel Lady. And I am here today to channel the Angel Raphael for all of you. And people in our community have the opportunity to raise their hand on Zoom and ask Archangel Raphael a universal question, not a personal question. And then we post it on YouTube, and people get to listen to the answers and tap into the pulse of what happens to be going on in this now moment. When I channel the Archangel Raphael, I close my eyes, I kind of move back and forth, I make some sounds, I say hello, and wherever you are in the world, please say hello back, and that connects you with Archangel Raphael's energy, which is very loving and very healing. Raphael is the angel of healing, an emerald spiral of beautiful light descending on the planet to bring us messages of love. Today, Jennifer will be our co-host, and she will be calling all of you, those of you who have your hands raised to ask your question. Please, no follow-up questions. And remember, it's not to keep it personal, but to keep it to the collective. And I think that's the general idea. All right. So, just a reminder, we are gathering videos, and we'll put a link in the description here below. If anybody wants to connect into the vibration of unity consciousness as we're preparing for this epic month of December that we are quickly and rapidly approaching, some people in our community had the suggestion that we take a candle, and as if we're bringing it in from the collective, from others who are bringing love to us, we ignite the love within our heart. We come into the frequency of unity, and then we pass the candle over to the other side, and we give it to that all that love in our heart. And people are making videos, and then we're going to put them all together of us passing this and connecting around the globe as a grid of unity consciousness and love. And it's super sweet and beautiful, and it's a way of saying to the universe, I'm in. I'm in, and I am here, and I'm ready, and I'm prepared to connect to the frequency of love and unity with community and others around the planet, all over the world, who are doing the same, so that we can take that leap in consciousness. That's what's happening, right? We're taking a leap in our consciousness, in a great awakening, in a deep remembering of who we are. So with that, I will begin to channel, and we'll send out an email to you guys, or you can click, there'll be a link and you can do it. It's super. They set it up in a great way so that you pop on it and the video is right there. You don't have to do anything. You just have your candle on one side and the other. You light it, you pass it. The instructions are pretty clear. You'll want to read the instructions. And then you press it and it's done. It's like super simple, not a whole big thing. So if you want to commit to that, we'd love to see your beautiful face. All right. I'm going to blow this candle out so that while I'm channeling, we don't have an issue. Okay. All right. Everyone wants to just take a nice deep breath and come into the presence of this now moment. Mm. Everyone taking a nice deep breath, breathing all the way in, and then even deeper, even more in, and then a big release and exhale. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. We are very delighted, as always, to be here with all of you. And we recognize that energetically in our arrival, we always say this as if there would be a moment in which we were not delighted to align with all of you and your love and your energy and your frequency. And I want to remind you that as I speak in the collective, I am a collective energetic frequency of the angelic vibration of Archangel Raphael, for I am that I am Archangel Raphael, the angel of healing, and yet simultaneously I am all that is. So it is that I am the we. And with that, I am here to attune to all of you and support you on your journey of awakening. And so, what is it that you are wanting to talk about?
Hello, Raphael. Thank you so much for being with us today. I wanted to ask you something that a lot of us seem to be going through right now, having to do with the physical exhaustion in our vessel, in our physical being, with the energy going on the planet right now, in what feels like it's a speeding up and a swirling and a swirling, and even with the slowing down of activities. Is there something that you could help us and Kelly and all of us in our community to maybe understand how to work through this period that feels like it's quite draining and exhausting on the body? How could we support ourselves more at this time with this and be more of service in the
Oh, oh. Well, you are very well aware of the energy approaching your planet and the synchronicity of its magic and beauty and its interaction with the sun and the interaction with that and the plasmic codes that had come through the 1111 gateway as flares of energy bombarded your planet and lights of colors and fractal patterns came across your skies. And as this was happening, a descent of codes arrived, and much has come into your energetic body. And for some of you, the integration of these vibrations is knocking you out. It is though it is putting you off to sleep, or it is perhaps waking you up very much, but it is coming in a way in which you are feeling it in your body. For some, you will notice a rise in your emotion, and for others, you will have glimpses and moments of oneness and unity and bliss. And yet, there is an understanding or recognition that something magnificent, something spectacular, something unknown, something in which you have not felt in the depth of your energetic being is arriving in a way that you have been waiting for a long time. And so we had prepared all of you for these energies and the descent of them as they will continue to accelerate and amplify in coming days and weeks and even months through the cycle of the equinoxes as it moves from one into the other, and the great birthing process, of course, which you are all in preparation for. And so you find yourself in linear time in this now moment in what might be understood from your perspective as a new moon, a space of emptiness. And so the mirrored reflection of that is deep rest. And so, in the remembering that we had shared with you these processes and these gateways, we noticed that some of you did them for a few days, or you were excited, or you committed, and then you perhaps fell off the wagon and were not able to keep up. And then you got discouraged and you felt tired and you went about your own business. And we want you to know that it's all right if there was a detour in your processing. But we encourage you to remember that just because there is a temporary detour, you can continue to find your way back to the route and to the destination with your intention. And so we're encouraging you all to return to those gateways, to those processes, to align with them, to act upon them. And in addition to that, it is of great importance at this time to receive water. For the water right now during this new moon is potent, and it too has received the codes, and it is already embedded and inside all of the water. And so the more water that you are able to drink at this time, the more you are able to integrate, the more you're able to receive, to amplify, and to absorb the vibrations of the delivery system of the frequencies that are arriving from the galactic realms. And so drinking as much water as possible and eliminating anything that is of a beverage that could be in any way toxic or sugar oriented, for this will begin to make it more difficult for you to assimilate what is coming in. The purpose for the processes within the 1111, as we recognize that that would be a portal opening of powerful process of energies as the winds carried the flares and the energies from the sun and the codes that had interacted prior to that with Three Eye Atlas, and that their arrival would be something in which you would need to honor and to have sacred frequency around. And so being gentle with yourself while simultaneously being disciplined. And so there is a difference between the two. The gentleness and the softening is the letting go. It is the releasing. It is the falling into the space of where it is that you are. It is in the allowing of whatever is arising to arise and to meet it with compassion and love. And simultaneously, it is also asking you to bring in the vibration of discipline, in that you are focused in your understanding that the more you are able to implement some of these practices in which we have spoken of that are quite simple, the more you are in alignment, for more receptive to the vibrations in which are flooding your planet at this time.
Thank you so much, Raphael. I wonder if you wouldn't mind just adding a little something to that in terms of the power that we might have to be able to alchemize things that could feel a little stuck or trapped in our body, say, whether it's an illness or something that could just feel like a temporary flu. Are we able at this time, with things speeding up rapidly, to also alchemize that which seems a bit stuck or trapped or painful, to transmute that out and up as if thinking of going through an upgrade of sorts with assistance?
It is your willingness of acceptance that it is. It is the resistance to what is that continues to persist within your energetic field. And so sometimes there can be confusion around this because there is a deep wanting to speed something up, to move forward, to fix it, to get away from it, to get somewhere other than where you are, for it to be over with, to be, in a sense, alchemized. But the true alchemy is the presence, the where it is that you are, in complete acceptance, and the opening and the surrendering to each moment as it arises without an interpretation that it should be something other than it is now. And in that presence, when you fully can align with that essence of your own divinity without any resistance to whatever happens to be arising in any given moment, with the awareness of its divine perfection, the need for it to continue for in your linear time, for it to perpetuate itself for a long period of time on itself, collapses, begins to dissolve because there is no resistance to it. And so it is a nuance within your energetic being around it, rather than trying to overcome it. It is to allow and to be present with it and to meet it with acceptance, not with resistance, in the surrendering and the knowing that it is in its divine order. And within that, its need for persistence begins to dissolve, and the alchemy in which you're speaking with arises from within.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Angel Raphael.
Ah, you're welcome.
If it's okay, I'm going to move to taking some questions now. Linda from Portland, Oregon. Give me just a second and you should be able to unmute. Go ahead. You should be able to try.
There we go. Hello, hello,
Hello, hello,
hello,
hello. Ah,
hello, 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 dear Angel Raphael. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, so my question is, I have been drawn to being more and more outside, which I do often anyway, and being in the moonlight and watching the clouds and seeing the light reflected in the clouds and the light reflected in the morning dew on the plants. And it's like the whole world is celebrating, and there's just all these gifts. And it just feels like it's part of the transmission and part of the joy, as well as singing, lots of singing and moving. Could you
yeah.
talk about the light coming through with the water and the rains? Yes, please.
We are so delighted to see you moving into this fifth dimensional frequency and maintaining it for long periods of time, as you are even beginning to open up the pathway and the doorway into the higher dimensions, as you are already attained a frequency of interconnectedness, oneness, and the remembering of self, as you are aligning with the vibrations of the light and the water, and it is speaking to you. And as you are seeing its mirrored reflection within the fractal patterns of all that is, and of course, bringing the song and the sound, which is creation itself, you are aligning the light and the water and the sound, which is absolutely beautiful, magnificent, divine, and perfect. And so there is not much here to say around that other than the opening of connection and communication. When you begin to really communicate and see the energies speaking and hear them speaking and feel them speaking to your essence, in which you are in relationship and deep communication and reverence with them, as you begin to hear signals and to receive symbols and teachings and wisdoms and knowings and understandings that then are current of information that is moving through your system, is something that signals to these vibrations, that sends out and emanates and emits a vibration that then carries within the water, for the water is a carrier, and the light is a carrier, and the sound is a carrier. The vibration of love that you are holding and emanating in the reflection of noticing their divinity, the perfection within their patterns, and that energy then begins to be delivered, just like the delivery of many other energies coming at this time from the galactic frequencies and within the primordial center of the earth itself around the planet. And so we encourage you that in that processing and that feeling and that connection and communication with the clouds, the light and the water, to notice it dancing with you, communing with you, talking with you, and you can begin to ask it questions that may be arising, or perhaps you're at a place in which questions are not arising, for there is no need for a question because you have reached a state of oneness, a state of bliss within the perfect geometry of all that is unfolding. And yet, once you have reached that point, there will be a doorway, like another opening, that opens up a corridor to a deeper understanding and a deeper relationship with the elements themselves as you begin to commune with them and they report back to you like signals. And as you do this, the water will be able to speak to you and you'll be able to hear it. And you'll be able to see the light dancing and talking. And so, as it is mirroring itself somewhere in nature or on a wall, perhaps, or wherever it may be appearing, you can begin to talk to it and it will start to dance and move like the clouds. And your communion with them will become more amplified and stronger. And as this takes place, this is a very potent and powerful work for the collective in the support of not only anchoring in and receiving these energies, but amplifying them for others to open up doorways for their connection and communication as well. For many people, will be communing with the trees, communing with the animals, with the clouds, with the light, with the water, with the sound. And it is that relationship of connection and communication will continue to get stronger and stronger and stronger. So let's see. Andrea, do you want to ask a question? Let me see. Participants. Hold on. I can see that you can do it. All right. You should be able to ask now.
Can you hear me?
I can. Hi.
Hi, hello.
Oh.
So my question is, well, my belief system is that God creates everything. Who created God?
That's a big question. Okay, I'm just being Kelly right now. Now I got a channel. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. This is funny doing it this way. Let me see if I can. We are very delighted to be here and to return at this time and align with all of you in your energy as you are asking who created God. And it is that God created God, for there is no separation between God's creation and God itself, for it is the same. And it is only through the linear thinking of your mind that there would be something before it, or that it was something that gave birth to it, because it was in the state of everything, in the oneness, in the emptiness, in the void, in the nothingness, where it is that God resided. And it is that in that space of nothingness, which cannot be fully understood from where it is that you are, because you are already an emanation of a life clocked in matter and form. And in that, there is the forgetting of the space of who it is that you are without that sense of separation. So the perspective for your understanding to perceive God in the reality of duality through the human experience wants there to be something other than it, but it is it in itself, for it has always been it and always will be. And there is nothing before or after it. So there is nothing that has created God, because God is God, and yet God is you. You have created God, and God has created you, because you are God. You are an emanation, a frequency, a being of God that happens to be right now clothed in form and in matter. And in the idea of matter, the spirit has some recognition, a feeling of being separate from its source, from its essence, its oneness, which is God, which is you. And so when you return to God, you return to the place where everything was, and there is nothing before that. For how can there be anything before that? Because it was and always has been everything, which is you. You and it are all one in the same.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you, Raphael.
And Andrea, if you're able to mute, and Esther, if you can unmute and ask Kelly a question, perhaps she can stay with Angel Raphael.
Hello, Angel Raphael. This is
hello.
Esther. Thank,
Hello.
thank you for taking my question. I'll keep this short. Can you share with us, what can you share with us about Spica in the constellation of Virgo, and more specifically, its star beings?
It is that this energy that we are connecting with at this time, in which you call three-eye atlas, is coming in relationship to these vibrations that are emanating a specific light. We are not attuning to this particular star in this way, other than these beings are coming into, we are wanting you to speak about this a bit more for a moment.
You're asking me to speak about it?
Yes.
Okay. The reason I'm interested in this is because my my sun, my galactic origin, I believe, is Spica. And there's very little information available about, in the consensus reality about the star beings of Spica, but I feel a very strong connection there. And I am one of the sources that I have connected with have linked it to the angelic realm. And so I was kind of hoping you would be able to shed some light on it for me. Spica is conjunct my sun.
Now we are connecting to this energy, but there is an interruption.
Okay.
The interruption is that we do not like to normally connect in this particular way, but there is an interruption between your connection with this vibration, with these star energies, with these beings. And you are now remembering them, and they are trying to make a contact with you. And so there is a hoping that I could be an interpreter of these energies at this time, for that is what they are asking of me. And I will be obliged to do that for a moment. It is that these energies are of a very, very high frequency and are somewhat hidden, meaning they are ones that like to keep to themselves and not to be in the spotlight. Their presence is very, very powerful and potent, and they are, in many regards, the ones that work behind the scenes and behind the scenes. And it is interesting that the vibration of seeds arise, for there was a lot of seeding that came from this energetic frequency. And it is that this is partly coming into alignment of what is coming through the incoming days and weeks, is there is an opening taking place that many of you are aware of at this time. And so it is of no coincidence that you have aligned and come and brought this to our attention for you to reconnect. And so what we are going to do right now is, if you can place your hand on your belly to create a feeling there within the womb center, and begin to feel a cord of energy, like a light that is emanating from this center, where perhaps you would have been aligned to the umbilical cord, and begin to feel it starting to emanate as an energy right now is coming into where it is that you are and coming very close to you as they are placing their hand here. And in placing their hand here, I want you to feel the presence of this welcoming home, where you are being welcomed home into a legion of beings of light that, yes, are very attuned to an angelic frequency, but are lighter than that and are the ones that work diligently in the darkness behind the scenes in a space unknown. But their presence holds a fabric of reality. A sequence of energies that maintains much on this planet. And so you are being at this time invited to realign with their vibrations. And so your energy has been called right now to my attention to support you in this. It is important for you to sense their frequency as they're coming in with the number three, and three of them are present for you, one directly in front of you, and one to the left, and one to the right. They are sending energy that is coming into the womb center and creating a connection here within you. And now they are beginning to multiply. For their energy is formless, luminous, and beautiful. And it comes in many variations of frequencies, lights, and colors. And you're starting to feel their energy coming home. This is a welcoming to you to attune to their vibration. And now we're inviting you to come up into the heart center and begin to feel the emanation of love within your heart and attune that energy to their vibrations as you are feeling them coming in closer, as they are arriving up higher. Thank you for bringing their energies to our attention, for because they are unknown often, unrecognized, unfelt, and unseen, they are deeply feminine, as if they are holding a space within the fabric, a container. For other energies to come forward that are more potent, more powerful, more verbal, more understood, and more felt. And so we are inviting them in this way, as you are calling their vibrations and awareness to others of their presence, as conscious awareness to their frequency, their name, and their connection at this time supports the opening as Three Eye Atlas moves through the constellation of Virgo. And as it is doing so, it's going to be opening up a space to a very deeply feminine energy. And this feminine energy will start to weave together. And the weaving of this will begin to create what will be needed for the opening and the receptivity of a conception of energies that are being seeded at this time on your planet. And so the interruption that was taking place was the connection of communication in which a clearing within your own heart was needed in order to open up this reunion between you and their vibrations. We recognize that this is not normally within the format of discussion of our unfolding in this communication, however, important and relevant for this now moment. And so it is.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think a lot of people were very affected by that reading. Dan, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, I am. Hello, Raphael. Thank you for
Hello.
taking my call. I just have one question, and my question is and this is for the collective. Does a person need to be a vegetarian to become enlightened in this particular in the present moment?
Well, we can understand that this is a complicated question in some regards. There will be a moment in time where your need for food completely will dissipate as you will be moving into your light body in a whole nother way. And so, for many of you at this time, in order to create more light in the body, to fully step into the light body, to create a pathway for this deeper connection energetically to these higher realms and these dimensions. Eating the foods that contain the most light, meaning your vegetables, as they receive the light directly as you are feeling it from your fruits, and those things that are born from within the soil of the earth themselves, are very, very deeply supportive in the regeneration of your cells, in the healing of your body, and in emanating light within your body to prepare you to move into the next stage, in which there is not a need for food itself, where you will be much more capable energetically of consuming simply water that has received coats of light. And so it is a transition period. However, there are others at this time that consuming something that helps them to ground and to connect with the animal kingdom as well, and with the fish, and to be more grounded within their body at times is part of their evolutionary process, and at times needed. And so there is not an absolute, although many who are vegetarians would think or say differently, but it is around your relationship if one is choosing to engage in conscious, sacred alignment and connection with another living energy, which is giving its life for the consumption in the most sacred way. Where there is prayer and understanding and balance in the receiving of this, in order to integrate what it has to share within its energetic body through the vibration of love, in order for the body to receive perhaps the other energies that are not received through the plant kingdom itself. However, it is also very important that there is an understanding that when an animal is cruelly taken care of, or is caged, or is brutally murdered in a way, or is placed in a particular setting where it has no freedom, where it does not see the light, where its food is contaminated, where it is grown to grow for consumption itself, where it is entire purpose is just to be that for another to eat or to consume, where it is slaughtered with fear or anger or for greed. The imprint and the vibration of that is stored within the molecular structure of the animal, and the toxicity of that fear, that fright, that experience, that lack of its freedom is stored within its cellular memory. And so then when it is consumed by another in an unconscious and not sacred way, which there is a forgetting of its origin or where it came from, and unconsciously just picked up from the grocery store and slapped somewhere to be eaten, you are consuming the imprint, the vibration of that energy. And that is not necessarily of the highest consciousness that would support you on the unfolding and the journey toward your development of your own enlightenment. However, in addition to that, if you have an animal that is outside and is grazing and is experiencing its life, and there is a relationship, a communion, a connection, a sacred honoring, a respect in an exchange, it carries so much beauty in its experience and its vibration and its love and its attunement to nature that is held within its energetic form, that is then received by another in the agreement through the contract of your relationship with one another. And so our answer to that would be that conscious consumption of food is of what is importance, of great importance, and the sacredness of it, and your connection to it, and how close it is to you, and your relationship to the mother, and her blessings that she is continuously sharing with all of you. And so, in terms of the original asking, the steps toward enlightenment over a period of time would, yes, inquire less grounded energy over time, more lighter frequencies, moving into more plants and more vegetables, etc., into more and more water, more fasting, and less food. However, it is also important to recognize that it is a journey, and that just because one is a vegetarian does not mean that they are more enlightened than someone that is consuming something that is more grounded. That is not true, because it is about the consciousness and its relationship to that in which it is receiving. Where someone can be very much a vegetarian and extraordinarily unconscious, and someone can be very much a meat eater and be very conscious, for they are not always necessarily connected in this way.
Thank you, Raphael. Madeline.
Hello, Raphael. Thank you.
Hello, hello. One moment. How? We are just wanting to reiterate one more thing, for it is of importance, that to release judgment. For it is that one often can judge another by their choice of food. And that in itself is not in the alignment with the frequency of alignment of enlightenment. And so, what is it?
Thank you. I've been wondering during this time of emptiness, of emptying out, and also the what I'm hearing and feeling around fatigue and some illnesses passing through. If that also is part of old fears, old emotions, old traumas resurfacing at this time to be released, and if so, how do we move through that over the next little while?
It is very true that many of you will feel these emotions, these toxins, these sensations in the body, these changes, and they are signals that something is shifting, that you're evolving. And it is, as we were speaking of earlier, not to be in resistance to them or trying to make them go away or to fix them or to get to the other side. And we know that when we speak of simply coming into presence, absolute presence of where you are now, completely in this moment, with whatever is unfolding, the mind wants to disregard that because it loves to hold on to what has been or begin to project as to when it will be over and what will happen next. And in that, it elongates the experience of whatever is arising in any given moment for the clearing to take place. And yet, the simplicity of the answer of coming into presence and stillness, awareness, surrendering, and allowing for whatever is unfolding and bringing to it the vibration of love seems not enough. As if there is a wanting to know something else. How can I get there? How can I fix it? How can I be with it? How can I make it better? When will it be over? And how long will it last? And so that is the mind. How long will it last? When will this end? When will I feel better? Why is this emotion arising? What can I do with this emotion? What steps can I take for it to change? And it is in the inherent wanting for it to be something other than it is that it remains. But yet, if you can be present with it, it disappears, it dissolves. But if you are present with it with the agenda for it to dissolve, then it remains. And so it's a process of unfolding within your own being to be fully present without an agenda for it to be anything other than it is, or an expectation for it to be anything other than it is, in a releasing of the resistance that it is. And it is in that full presence, complete presence, right here, right now, in this now moment, in which there is nothing else other than this, nor will there ever be, wherever it is that you are in this moment, in this breath, in the allowance of it to be. It is there that you find that sense of peace, that sense of stillness, that bliss, in which one is wanting for it to go away or not to feel no longer exist because you are present with it. And when you are present with it and you feel it and you allow it to be, there is nothing for it to push against, and it has its life, and it is able to be reabsorbed and returned to the oneness, to the source of all that is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Raphael. That's really powerful stuff. How is Kelly doing? We just want to check in and make sure she's okay. Is she okay to take another question or two, or how is her body doing?
All right. I guess another one.
All right. Sonia.
Thank you, Raphael. I feel honored for this opportunity to talk to you. Thanks. My question is how we are able to recognize if we are aligned with our purpose when the external results are not there and when we are facing periods of financial uncertainty. And how do we recognize the authentic direction for our service?
It is when you are feeling joy. Mm. When joy is arising within you, enthusiasm, celebration, that feeling inside, like a little kid waking up to do something, a knowing that an excitement in which you're just not feeling forced, you're not feeling pushed to do it, you don't feel like you have to do it, you get to do it. A desire rising inside. And sometimes that joy that is arising comes from something that is not in your current paradigm, mirroring something that brings abundance in the current system of currency in which you are exchanging goods and services in your current economy. But as you allow the joy itself to keep rising and you meet that joy by expanding upon that vibration and bringing that into focus, whether it is necessarily something in the beginning that can be in alignment with the current and the flow of abundance in terms of an economic way, it will open the corridors to stepping into the synchronicity of the flow of magnetism, the flow of abundance itself, in which doorways and possibilities that cannot be perceived from the place of trying for something to be, but an opening to allowing the joy to arise begins to open. And so things you can't think about from where it is that you are, opportunities, people, experiences start to just come into your reality. And the universe begins to mirror back to you the joy that you are emanating. And from a state of joyfulness, from a state of gratitude, from a state of love, that vibration magnetizes abundance. And the currency flow from an economic standpoint starts to shift and mirror back in your reality that in which you are seeking, not from a place that you are seeking to receive it, but from a place that you are emanating your joy.
So grateful. Thank you, Raphael.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, if we have time for one or two more, we can do it, but I want to be conscious of Kelly needing her rest as well.
We understand that for many of you right now, you are wondering where it is that you are and why it is that you are here and what it is that is happening and how it is that it is unfolding. And we want to assure you that it is all unfolding in divine order. And that as you release your idea of your interpretations of how things should be and surrender to how they are, you begin to open up a space of receptivity. And we are inviting all of you to surrender to your own self, to your own mind, into the emptiness, into this new moon vibration, into the stillness of receptivity. For the energy is quite strong and it is amplifying, it is revving up And in doing so, it is inviting you to come into harmony, to come into balance of all different aspects of yourself, to call them home, to invite them back in, to remember your essence, to attune to your soul, to feel into who it is that you are. Who is your soul? Why are you here? What is your essence? Why have you arrived at this time in a body and form? What is your reality mirroring back to you? Where is it that you can release the idea that you are a victim to circumstances? Can you open up to the remembering and the possibility and the knowing that everything in which you are perceiving is a mirrored reflection of your energetic blueprint mirroring out to the universe in a hologram in which there are no victims of circumstance? Full responsibility to the recognition of what is taking place, even in its uncomfortability, even in its suffering, seeing its divine order and the gifts that lie latent underneath in packages sometimes not wrapped so pretty. Can you remember all of that and more and begin to open to that knowing, to that growth, to that unfurling, to that unfolding, so that you are in preparation for the descent of ancient galactic frequencies that have been traveling for ancient long myriads of time, coming in this now moment, arriving at this perfect moment where everything is aligning for you to receive their codes in an awakening so that they may mirror to you that in which you believe within your own self to be true. And so you are being invited now to believe in yourself, to know you're worthy, to remember your divinity, to love who you are, to feel the essence of your being beyond the interpretations of the mind or the illusion of separation cast through the processes of the collective that has brought forth an idea that you are somehow separate from Source itself, or that it is something in which you are grasping in the distant stars far away, and yet it has always resided inside of you. It is a remembering that it is there. And so that in which is descending, in which you are receiving in this way from the projection that it is coming from something in the distant sky, because that allows you through the interpretation of your collective understanding to receive it. Yet we want to remind you that it is simply already inside of you, but it is being ignited and mirrored by something that is projected from outside. But they are unifying now. As within, so without, as above, so below, within union within the energetic space of the 0 point of your heart center. And so that is what is occurring now. And all things are lining up beautifully, perfectly, with synchronicity and magic for the unfoldment of this journey as you enter into this time, this great birthing, this galactic frequency of remembering when you attune to the divine that lives and dwells within you, who that has always been there, but that now you are willing to see, you are willing to recognize. Through the willingness to love and adore who you are, you see the beauty and the perfection in everything all around you, because you begin to remember that you are the designer, you are the architect, you are the creator of it. And so, of course, you can see nothing but its beauty, in which one today mentioned seeing the light and the dew and the water and the skies and the clouds, for it has always been right there, looking right at you, staring you in the eye, and yet you have been busy in the mind, in the forgetting, in the fragmented parts of self that are being invited and asked now for you to invite them home inside your heart, to collect all of those pieces that have been scattered all across, and to gather them as they unify and come into wholeness within your energetic being. And within the wholeness, as they unify within your being, and you hold that energetic vibration and frequency, doorways, gateways, stargates open, attunements to vibrations, places, frequencies, energies in which you have not felt within the human experience through matter and form become accessible to you within that remembering, because they are mirrored in the vibration of your experience. And so you are being invited at this time to open your heart to that inner knowing, to that remembering, to release that searching, that desire of finding it somewhere other than inside, that anything in which you are wanting to ask of me or any other already knows, is dwelling, is living inside of you. You already have the answer if only you will remember and trust within your own knowing. For you do not need me to guide or to tell you where to go, for I am simply here whispering into your ear. Sometimes I have to shake you a bit. Sometimes the planet has to shake you. Sometimes you have to have an experience to wake up a bit. But in the awakening, there is beauty, there is remembering, there is love, there is unity. And so you are coming back into union with yourself. You're marrying yourselves. You're unifying with your own self, which is everything. Everything in which you see and perceive is you. It has always been you. And in the remembering of that, you step into something extraordinary because you see the beauty in everything. And as you love, accept, and adore the presence of who you are now, it mirrors to you everything outside of you. And you see that it too is beautiful and magnificent and perfect and divine. And so every sunset, every blade of grass, every whisper of wind, every wave of crash of an ocean feels like bliss, unity, oneness, presence in ways in which you have never known before because you have let go of the trying for it to be something other than what it is, and the remembering that it is already perfect. And within that, it begins to mirror and come together in patterns of design in which a tapestry is woven and a frequency is born. And you are within it. You have always been within it. You are the divine being. You are the galactic being. You are the new human. You are all of that and more. And so it is not that it is arriving, and yet it is at the same time, but it is awakening you to the remembering that it has always been here. It is mirroring to you that which you have always known, but you are waking up enough to see it. And so feel into these frequencies and know that you are connected not only to one another and to every single cell in your body and every breath in which you have and every blade of grass. You are also connected to every star and every star being and the comets and the suns and the planets. You are connected to all of it and more. But as much as you perceive it outside of you, it is inside of you. You are a living blueprint, an organism, a frequency. You are a mirror of it. It is all operating inside of you. It is nested. The dimensions are not somewhere to strive to, they are within. They are nestled within one another over and over and over. And as you go deeper and deeper into the stillness, into the emptiness, into the void, into the spaciousness, you spiral down into the core, into the place where everything is one. And that is where it is happening. There is a remembering happening, a blanket of love, a wave of energy moving through your entire planet at this time, unifying you. It is bringing in these energies. And so that is why the archetypes of the goddesses and the gods and the beings of light and the masters and the avatars that have walked your planet are rising. They're speaking to you, not from somewhere up in the distant sky, but deep inside your own heart, where they have always been. And so, this rising that is happening, this feeling, allow it to be. Let go. Trust, trust, trust. Fall back into the arms of the divine and know that it will catch you, it will hold you. And guess who it is? It is you holding yourself. It is God, and you are God, and I am God. And you are waking up to that knowing again. You are breathing back into the oneness, into the remembering, into wholeness. And so trust in that. And look with the eyes of love at everything and everyone that you see and touch. See them from the eyes of a child, for you will go through the birthing process at the solstice. And the cycle will shift. The need to repeat the cycles you have repeated over and over and over and over again, the cataclysms, the descent, the dissolving, the repeating, the returning. It does not need to repeat in this way again, for you can continue into stepping through the corridors of love, through the frequency of union and oneness within the flesh itself, and the remembering of who you are through the experience, still holding on to the patterns and understanding of time while collapsing them simultaneously, feeling the duality within without judgment, and knowing that you are whole. It is in the wholeness that the miracles that the avatars created, that were born through them, will work through you. For the miracles of healing, the miracles of creation, the miracles of vision, all of that is possible. It has always been possible. You are just waking up to it. You are just remembering. But it requires something of you. It requires stillness. It requires preparation. It requires surrendering, trusting, allowing, loving, being, and seeing through the eyes and the perception of love, of unity, of oneness, looking into the eyes of everyone and seeing them mirrored back to you, that they are you, and releasing your judgment of them. For as you cast judgment upon them, you cast it upon yourself, for you cannot separate it, for it has always been one and the same. And so I am here. I will always be here, as will all of the beings of light, as will the energies coming from the stars at this time, and the merging of the masculine and the feminine, the dates that are arriving in their perfect synchronistic way. They are all magically aligning for a reason, for a purpose, as they always are. You're just seeing the design. That magic has always been there. The design has always been there. The excitement and the beauty of how it is connected and the perfection in it has always been there. It is simply just being revealed. You are just noticing its beauty. But it is not that it is just appearing now for this moment, for this unfolding that is taking place. It has always been happening within the universe. And yet now your eyes are open, your heart is open, your womb is open. You are prepared to receive, to see in a new way. And I am here to guide you on that journey. With that, I send to you from the angelic realm that lives inside of you many blessings, much love, and good day. All right. Okay. Well, I see you all in your beauty, in your divinity, in your light, in your love. And I'm so happy to be here with everybody. And I will see you all next time, wherever that is in the universe. Maybe on a distant star, maybe on a Zoom call, wherever you want to meet. We start our divine feminine light code Christ consciousness 3i Atlas 12-12-21 birthing galactic process December 4th on the full moon if you want to be on that journey. And if not, that's totally okay too. I wish you a beautiful evening. I send you love, and we'll talk again soon. Okay? Take care, everybody. And thank you, Jennifer, for hosting. Bye, guys.